Well, good morning, everyone. It is Frank Romboskas here. I've got just about 11 o'clock Eastern Time, so it's starting time. As always, we'll give people a minute or two to come into the webinar room because there's always a few latecomers. Having said that, I won't wait for a huge turnout because the vast majority of people who sign up for these just want the recording after the fact so they can watch the video in the evening on their own time, whatever the case might be. So for the next minute or two, let me give you a little background on where this came about. How to get hot leads with Facebook is an offshoot of my October webinar, which was entitled How to Get Hot Leads with LinkedIn. And it was a huge, huge, huge success. I'm still getting emails and LinkedIn messages from people almost on a daily basis talking about how much they enjoyed it, and better yet, in the 2 months since it's occurred, how much progress they've made and how many leads they've actually gotten from LinkedIn and sales as well. Uh, there are a lot of parallels between LinkedIn and Facebook. The big difference is this: LinkedIn is a networking tool. In fact, it's probably the best business networking tool in the world. It's certainly the best networking tool online. I will admit that I still love in person networking. I am a member of our local chamber here in Dallas. I love going to meetings. I love speaking. I just spoke at the chamber meeting this past Monday. But having said that, LinkedIn just has a huge, vast reach. Now, that's the upside. The downside of LinkedIn is that's where it stops. It's strictly a networking tool. Even though you could still get 100% of your business from LinkedIn, it still requires you to be proactive, and it still is a networking tool. Facebook differs because with Facebook pages, you can actually set up lead capture systems. So in the Never Cold Call Again course, which I'm assuming probably everybody who's on this webinar has already, a big part of that is teaching you how to set up a website with a lead capture form. In the social media modules of the course, I show you how to set up and very specifically how to optimize a WordPress blog and then use that to attract traffic, use that to post content and syndicate it out to Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and then, of course, have lead capture right there on your WordPress blog, as well as methods of contacting you, such as phone and email and your business website and other ways that people might be able to reach you. So that's where Facebook really excels. Is the system I'm going to show you today is how to, first of all, set up a Facebook business page with a lead capture mechanism that's very effective, and then how to use a content strategy to draw people to that Facebook page, as well as some other tips, tricks, and techniques. And I'm going to type a web address into the chat box here. Some of you may know, I know I've mentioned it in some of my email newsletters, that in addition to Never Cold Call Again, or nevercoldcall.com, I own a company called the ROI Team. We do search engine marketing for business, lead generation for business, Google AdWords management. And of course, as a part of that, it's just a natural progression that we do social media, Facebook pages, Google Places Plus pages, say that fast 5 times, and a lot of other social media properties for business. And so I'm going to show you some examples of what I consider to be very good Facebook strategies and Facebook pages. So I've got 3 minutes after the hour, and I am going to jump into this. Anybody who's late, this is all being recorded. You will receive a video recording of the entire webinar as well as a PDF of this presentation, hopefully by this afternoon and tomorrow morning at the absolute latest. I'm usually able to get them out same day, so you will get this recording. So let's jump into it. What you're going to learn today: why Facebook is an absolute goldmine of leads. One thing I'm not going to talk about today is Facebook ads. All the strategies you're going to see here are free, with the exception of paying $5. I'm going to show you how to get a Facebook page and professional graphic design done for $5 and where to get that done, design quality that will rival big corporations' Facebook pages. But that's the only cost involved, other than the $20 you paid for the webinar, of course. So make that $25 total. But this is not about Facebook ads. I sell a separate ebook on Facebook ads. There are several great courses online, but my goal is not to have you guys spending money. My goal is to get you generating tons and tons of hot leads for free, and that's what Facebook will enable you to do. I'm going to show you how to properly set up your Facebook page. Throughout the webinar, you're going to hear me referring to it as a Facebook business page. The reason is that I'm sure just about everyone on here is a Facebook member. I don't know anyone who's not. And that's the beauty of Facebook, is everyone's already there. Your prospects are already there. But this is not about your personal Facebook profile. This is about setting up a business Facebook page. And if you're a business owner on this call, and I know several of you are, then obviously that's going to be your business page. But if you're a salesperson, that's going to be your business page as well. Very similar to having a personal website, you're going to have your salesperson Facebook business page. Once that's built, I'm going to show you how to build credibility and build networks, establish a very strong business network on Facebook. I'm going to show you a gamut of Facebook prospecting strategies. Most importantly, the Facebook lead capture mechanisms I talked about earlier, because that's really the hub of all this and the ultimate goal that we want to get people to. And then my step-by-step Facebook mastery plan, as I call it, that will enable you to put all this together, and then an active Facebook strategy that will really get leads cranking. And if you act on this today, if you start acting on what I'm going to teach you as soon as this webinar ends, get everything up and running this week or by the end of next week, we all know that B2B sales in particular slow down this time of year. But then January 1st comes, and it's just huge sales from the first of the year forward. I know that. Here at nevercoldcall.com, we get a record sales month this past January, and that typically gets bigger each January because that's when businesses start to spend money again. So the time to act is now. So why am I recommending Facebook so strongly? Well, very simply, Facebook now gets more traffic than Google. That's an astounding fact, but most people don't realize it. Gets 400% more traffic than Yahoo, gets over 260 billion page views per month. There were over 800 million Facebook members, and that's growing every month, which means practically all of your prospects are there. And it has a growing presence for businesses and use for businesses to promote themselves, as well as salespeople. Now, as I've said earlier, LinkedIn is an absolute must for salespeople. If you're not on LinkedIn, you really need to get on the ball with that and get signed up. Go by my LinkedIn webinar recording. I'll send out the link after, and you're going to learn everything you need to know to use LinkedIn to generate hot leads. But like I said, LinkedIn is strictly a networking tool. It may be the best networking tool in the world, but it's still just a networking tool. So Facebook gives the advantage of giving you direct lead capture mechanisms. LinkedIn, unfortunately, does not give you direct lead capture mechanisms. So that's the big difference. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. If you want huge sales success, you need to be using both. You need to be on both Facebook and LinkedIn. So that's the bottom line, is use anything and everything you can to generate hot leads without cold calling. That's what this is all about. So what are your goals on Facebook? Well, first of all, you want to connect with and find ideal prospects. That's a no-brainer. You also want to use Facebook to build credibility and visibility. And then, most importantly, you want to get people to land on and then engage your Facebook business page. Again, this is not about your personal Facebook profile. It's not about adding Facebook friends. This is about getting people to your Facebook business page. And then once they're there, use a lead capture system to get them into your sales lead pipeline. And then once that's done, you can follow up with them. You can use follow-up marketing. You can pick up the phone and call, and then re-engage those people outside of Facebook. And you can also use Facebook to re-engage with existing customers to upsell them or sell them more products or services and grow your business with existing customers as well. And again, the best part, these methods cost absolutely no money. This is not about Facebook advertising. This is about how to use Facebook for free to generate hot leads on autopilot. So how does Facebook work? Well, like everything I teach, this is a system. It's a 3-step system. Step 1 is to engage with your ideal prospects on Facebook. Step 2 is to deliver extremely valuable content that gets their attention while defining you as the expert in your industry. And again, everyone who has my programs knows that this is a core part of it. The key of the Never Cold Call Again philosophy is defining you as the expert in your industry, and you do that by delivering extremely valuable content that gets prospects' attention. And of course, step 3 is to drive these prospects to your Facebook business page, where you can employ lead capture systems to get them into your sales pipeline. And that's the ultimate goal. Now, you've got to define your prospects and their interests. So think about who are your best prospects. The best way to figure that out is to figure out who your best customers are. Look at your best customers and then try to figure out what their interests would be, what Facebook groups will they be found in? Where can your ideal prospects and best customers be found? Examples for me: if you want to find me on Facebook, you're going to find me in the Facebook groups where I can promote nevercoldcall.com to people who would be most receptive to hearing about it. So some of those Facebook groups are LinkedIn for Business, Skype for Business, a range of entrepreneur groups. There are more than you can count on Facebook, Facebook for Business, and so on. By the way, if you're in B2B sales, if you're selling to businesses and you're selling to small business owners, you need to be in all of these same groups because your prospects are in these groups. Small business owners are in LinkedIn for Business, Skype for Business. They're in all the entrepreneur groups, Facebook for Business. They're out there. So it's your job to join those groups and engage with those people. These are ideal prospects for my sales training and my internet marketing consulting business that I mentioned earlier. So again, you've got to define who are your ideal prospects. Whatever your industry is, whatever your niche is, figure out who your best customers are, who your ideal prospects are, and then start finding Facebook groups where they're going to be hanging out. So your job in connecting is this. First, you defined your prospects. We talked about that on the previous slide. Next step is to determine what value you can deliver to them. How can you help your prospective customers? This isn't about self-promoting or pitching or selling. This is about trying to figure out how you can deliver value that helps them. The bottom line, this is a hard truth, but truth hurts sometimes. People really don't care about you until they know what value you can offer them. It's the old sales term WIFM, W-I-I-F-M. It stands for what's in it for me. And when I tell that story over and over of back in the mid-90s when I got my first sales manager with a brain, one of the first things he taught us is always ask yourself, what's the WIFM? What's in it for the prospect? And if you can't deliver that value, if you can't answer that question, then you either need to find a better qualified prospect or you need to reevaluate your strategy and the value you're delivering to that person before you even attempt to begin to sell to them. So a bit of bad news and good news. Bad news is that every day your competitors are getting on Facebook and stealing your leads. The good news is, to your advantage, most of them are doing it completely wrong. So I'm going to show you how to do it right, starting right now. The first step is using Facebook groups. Keep in mind that just like LinkedIn, your ideal prospects are joining Facebook groups where they can learn. They're not there to self-promote. You're not there to self-promote. Your prospects are there to learn. So your job is to teach. Your job is to fulfill their desire to learn by building value. And you do this by adding valuable content to the Facebook groups that help them learn. I'm sure there are many people on this webinar who found me and found nevercoldcall.com through Facebook and through LinkedIn. Very simply, it's because, as you know, as a subscriber to my email list, I write a brand new email almost every day. I post that to my blog. I turn those into YouTube videos, and then all of my articles, all of my blog posts, all of my YouTube videos are posted to both my LinkedIn groups and my Facebook groups. And this generates a steady stream of new leads and new prospects into my pipeline. And they run the gamut from buying the Never Cold Call system to going down to Barnes & Noble, buying my published books for $20 on up to hiring me to do corporate sales training for 5 figures per deal. And so it's a very, very powerful way to build a pipeline of leads, not just into my business, but for any business. And that's the point on this slide. This works for everyone. The huge, tremendous, vast variety. Keep in mind there are over 800 million people on Facebook, which means there's a huge variety of Facebook groups out there. It offers opportunities to all salespeople. Are you an MLM? I know a lot of people out there are. Join MLM and network marketing groups where you can recruit people into your downline. You a real estate agent, or you're in the real estate business in some other aspect as a mortgage broker, join real estate groups where consumers are looking for advice and looking for help on how to buy a home, how to get approved for a mortgage, how to get the best deal, what pitfalls to look for in buying a house. If you're like me and you sell to business owners, you're in the B2B niche, join entrepreneur and business owner groups. It is full of business owners and business executives who want to learn, and by delivering valuable content, you can fulfill their need to learn. And it will build your credibility, your value, and it will make them want to buy from you. So now you get the idea. What you need to do is go to that very obvious search bar on top of Facebook and start searching. Use that Facebook bar to start finding LinkedIn groups where you can add value to your ideal prospects. Now, I mentioned earlier the hub of this philosophy, or the hub of this strategy, I should say, is your Facebook business page. Your Facebook business page is your brochure to your prospects. The goals of your page are twofold. Step one is to get them to like your page, which builds your exposure and your authority. The reason for that is every time someone likes your page, it shows up in their Facebook timeline on their own page that they liked your page. Then step two, once they're on your page, you want to capture their personal information via a lead capture system for follow-up, either online or offline. And as you see, I wrote there on the right-hand side of this column, without a serious Facebook business page, don't even bother with Facebook, because that's the destination. All this content strategy, all of this value building, the goal is to get people to your page. So what does a Facebook business page look like? Your Facebook business page is very much like a website, but the advantage is that your prospective fans and your customers never have to leave Facebook to engage with you. I've tested this both ways. These pages and the lead capture is much more successful when people don't have to leave your page or don't have to leave Facebook. They could stay within Facebook and engage with you there. Keeping your lead capture system within Facebook is far more effective than sending people to an outside website. That will happen after you capture them on Facebook. Worry about getting the lead first and do that within Facebook. So again, going back to the contrast between Facebook and LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, your personal profile or your company page are everything. And on Facebook, your business page is everything. And with this webinar, you're going to receive the tools needed to accomplish the examples you're going to see. Now, one caveat, one challenge that arose earlier this year is Facebook forced everyone into the timeline format. Now, pre-timeline, Facebook pages were super, super easy to capture leads, because the way they worked is if you didn't already like my page, I could set it up to have you land on a lead capture page. With timeline, you can't do that anymore. So you have to get a little more creative and a little more imaginative to lure people into that lead capture mechanism. So what I'm going to do now is exit the presentation, pull up my web browser, and then show you some real examples of Facebook pages that have lead capture mechanisms. Now, like I said, in the old days, pre-timeline, waiting for this to come up here. There it is. Pre-timeline, you would actually land on a lead capture page looking at the Never Cold Call Again Facebook page. Nowadays, you can't do that anymore. So the strategy you need to do now is to have an attractive header image. This is actually a work in progress. I'm getting a new one built, but this still shows you what it's about. NeverColdCall.com is a website, the tagline, sales prospecting system for the 20th century. If you could read that, there's an about box here, strategies and techniques to generate hot leads without cold calling. Download a free 37-page PDF report at nevercoldcall.com and begin learning how to stop cold calling and start selling today. So the key here is this big, obnoxious Start Here button. So the goal is have an attractive header that tells what you do, have a description that tells what you're all about, and then people say, oh, okay, I start here. And then when they click that Start Here button, you're going to see something that's going to look very familiar to everyone who is on this webinar. There's my web page, nevercoldcall.com, embedded right into my Facebook page. And by the way, as I give this presentation on my desktop computer, I brought my laptop from home to the office, and I'm monitoring this, and GoToWebinar loads much more slowly than it actually does in real time. So the Facebook page is nowhere near as slow as it appears to be on the webinar. So I just thought I'd let you guys know. But here it is. The person is still within Facebook, but they're on the nevercoldcall.com page. So let's type in a fake email address. So now we've captured the lead. And it works just like the real website. Everyone who signed up for my email list, you've been through this process. There's the thank you page. Your download link is being emailed to you right now. And then they're taken to the sales, the product sales page, again, without ever leaving Facebook. So somebody could watch the video. They can go through the entire page. They can scroll down, click the Order Now button. And we'll wait for that to load. Again, monitoring on my laptop so I can see what you're seeing, because it's much faster in real time. And here we are. They're on a secure order page right within Facebook, and they could order my product right here. So that's one example of the beauty of Facebook, is that people never have to leave Facebook in order to engage with you and lead capture. So that's one way of doing it, is embedding your actual website into Facebook. And again, that takes place if I go back to the main nevercoldcall.com Facebook page. We'll wait for that to load, and it's by clicking on that Start Here button. Now, I bookmarked some other examples of what I think are good Facebook pages. If you're serious about building a Facebook strategy, I recommend these guys. Their business is called Get 10,000 Fans, How to Monetize Fan Pages for Your Business. I see they dropped the ball a little bit. Their Start Here button is not on top where it's supposed to be, but I found it, so let's click their Start Here button. And I'm going to send you instructions on how to do this in the tutorials you're going to receive, hopefully by the end of this week. If not, then by Monday, on how to set all this up. This is a second option where instead of embedding an outside website, you can actually embed a video and a lead capture mechanism here right within Facebook. So that's another example. Third example is the Ellen DeGeneres page. She's doing a great job of lead capture. Her headline banner, she's doing a 12 days of giveaways promotion for Christmas. We'll wait for that to load. And so here's her header banner, and then right below that, there's the matching icon. So it's kind of a no-brainer that if you want to win, you click on that. And voila, just like magic, it takes you to, you guessed it, a lead capture page. And so you can see over and over again, the strategy of Facebook pages is to get people to click on a call to action button like Start Now or Win, and then complete a lead capture form. I'm going to show you a fourth example of what I think is a great Facebook page. It's called Spartan Race. This is a type of thing my crazy triathlete friends, and I do have many just by coincidence, would probably want to do. So there you see a robust header image showing what it's about. The race, Spartan Sprint, Super Spartan, and Spartan Beast are the races they offer. And well, look at that. There's a big call to action button, earn rewards. If you click the earn rewards button, it takes you to this graphic, and then refer friends, earn big rewards. And this one's a little different because when you click share now, it actually takes you off of Facebook and onto their website. Once again, we'll wait for this to load and go to webinar. There it is. Okay. And gee, look at that, another lead form. So as you can see, Facebook is all about lead capture. LinkedIn is about networking. Facebook is about lead capture. So let me get back into the presentation here. We can click past that. So you've seen some dazzling looking Facebook pages. You've seen some very professional looking pages on Facebook. And most of you are probably thinking, holy crap, it's going to cost $100 or $500 to get that done. Well, no, that's not the case. There is a wonderful website out there called Fiverr.com. Now, you may have heard of Odesk or Elance. Fiverr is an outsourced website where every job costs $5. You can have amazingly professional design work done that runs the gamut from page design to header design to video production. I actually just had a pretty awesome promotional video for nevercoldcall.com made for $5. The rule in Fiverr, just like with eBay, only buy from vendors who have positive ratings. Here's someone I will professionally designed your Facebook page for $5. As you can guess, if these people are working for $5, most of them are offshore. That's how they can afford to do that. But here's someone with a 100% rating who could do a professional full design for your Facebook business page. I will forward to another one here. Here's someone who is actually in the US. She'll make a timeline cover image for your Facebook page for only $5. 2 days delivery. Again, she's got 100% feedback. So this is the kind of person you're going to want to deal with. So again, that website, I'll type it into the dialog box here, is Fiverr.com. So keep that in mind. So you got a page built. Like I said, I'll send you the tutorials on how to build a page after the fact, or you can go over to Fiverr and buy one or two $5 deals and have it built for you, which is probably the better way to go, because then you're not spending your time and banging your head against the wall trying to figure it out. So you got a page. The next step is getting fans. Obviously, you need to promote your page. Getting fans is key. So step one is you want to drive your existing contacts, prospects, and customers to like your page, because every time they do that, it shows up in their timeline that they liked your page, which then spreads the word to more and more people. And by the way, your ideal prospects, if your ideal prospect is a small business owner, I can guarantee that their colleagues and their Facebook friends are other small business owners. So you're going to get your message in front of the right people, and you're going to do it in a viral marketing sort of fashion. And you drive people to your page by using a content strategy to drive brand new prospects, people who don't know who you are yet, to like your page and then to engage your lead capture system. And we've just seen many examples of effective lead capture mechanisms on Facebook. So the fastest way to get people liking your page and sharing and spreading your content is to invite existing contacts. Facebook has some built-in tools to do this. You can invite email contacts, you can invite your existing Facebook friends, and you can share your business page either on your personal profile or on other Facebook pages that you've got set up. So here there's a little screenshot. When you're logged into your page as the admin on the top right, you'll see that little drop-down menu. If you click Build Audience, you can invite email contacts. Once you do that, a dialog box pops up. You click your email client, you see Constant Contact, MailChimp, Vertical Response if you're using an autoresponder type service, iCloud, Windows, Hotmail. If you click on other email service, they've got Gmail and Yahoo and all the other popular ones. Then under other tools, say for example, you're using Outlook, it will show you how to export your Outlook contacts and then import them so you can invite them to your page. Here, if you choose the option to invite your existing Facebook friends, this pops up. Those people who are whited out, they're already fans of the page, but then you can click on all the rest and invite them to like your page. And if they're your Facebook friends, guess what? They're going to like your page. And then, of course, you can share your Facebook page either on your own timeline, on a friend's timeline, in Facebook groups. That's a big one. Once you get your page up, share it in all the groups you're in where your prospects are hanging out. Or you can just do it in a separate Facebook page. And then, of course, you can do it in a private message. Some more rules on setting up and promoting your page. First of all, you want a custom URL. When you set up a Facebook page, you're going to get an ugly default URL that looks like this. It's going to be facebook.com/ a long string of random numbers. In your Facebook admin settings page, you can change that to a custom URL. So I changed mine, of course, to facebook.com/ never cold call again. Once your URL is customized, promote it everywhere. Include that URL in your email signature on all of your email accounts. Include that URL on all of your stationery, business cards, letterhead, and all others. Put it right on your business card. Come visit us on Facebook and have that link printed on there. Promote your page on Twitter. Don't just say visit my page, but instead, every time you post something valuable, you write a new article, you do a new YouTube video and post it to your Facebook business page, link to it using Twitter, and then that will get some more word out and more people to your page. And of course, include a link in all email newsletter footers or sidebars and on your blog or website. And of course, the example, again, I'm sure everyone here is a subscriber to my email list, because I send out a lot of emails, and contrary to popular belief, I don't use an email responder. I actually write them fresh every day. And so there's the email footer for my nevercoldcall.com newsletters, and on the bottom right there, you see that the very first button that someone can click on to reach my page is the Facebook button. I put on the slide, feel free to swipe those buttons. Those are generic buttons. I don't own those, so feel free to go into any of my newsletters and just copy and paste those buttons for use on your own website or your own email newsletters, and go ahead and link those to your Facebook pages and your other social media properties like LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter, just like you see in my email footer right there. So let's talk about the Facebook content strategy, because that's really the engine that's going to drive people to your page. So your Facebook business page with your lead capture is the destination. However, you must give prospects a roadmap to find that page, and you do this via your Facebook content strategy. Now, there are 3 words I want you to remember for the rest of your life, or at least until you retire and you don't need this anymore. Those 3 words are content is king. Content is king is something that you're going to hear every single last online marketing expert in the world tell you. Now, the social media modules of the Never Cold Call Again system, the latest release of it that came out in May, if for some reason you're a customer and you did not get that release, send me a direct message on LinkedIn or open a ticket with our help desk and you will get it. But there are 2 complete modules on how to use social media, for prospecting. And what we teach there is to encourage the use of a blog, specifically a WordPress blog, as your content hub, and then set up automated tools to repost your content anywhere and everywhere. So the gist of it is you type a blog post, or you post a video or an article or something on your WordPress blog, that automatically feeds to Twitter, and then Twitter automatically posts that on your Facebook and LinkedIn pages. And there's some paid software out there if you want to buy it that can do even more than that. It could syndicate it to websites. You can go to websites and have your blog syndicated. I happen to be, let me type in a web address here. business to community.com. Every time I type a blog post, it automatically reposts to their site. So if you've got an impressive WordPress blog and you're delivering valuable content, go to that site and find the application page. See if you can get them to syndicate your content. That'll get you a lot more exposure. Now, this webinar, we take it a step further by using content specifically to drive prospects, again, and I can't say this enough, to your Facebook page and your Facebook lead capture system, because that's what it's all about. So let's talk about content. Before we can post content, we have to develop content. So what are some examples of content? Every blog you write, every video you record on YouTube or anywhere else, every podcast you do if you're podcasting, every article you write. So again, for example, in Never Cold Call, again, I tell you to write articles and post them to high visibility article directories like ezinearticles.com. If you have white papers, and you should have some sort of white paper that you can give out to prospects or use as an enticement to get them to sign up on your website, you want to post anything and everything to your Facebook business page. Once you've done that, post all of that again to all of your Facebook groups, because now you're not only getting content to people who have already liked your page, you're getting it out to groups, which again are where your ideal prospects are hanging out, because early in this webinar I showed you how to identify them and figure out what groups they're hanging out in. And then once you've done all that, there's a really neat tool called Facebook Insights. When you're logged into your Facebook business page as admin, you can find Facebook Insights to determine what type of content is engaging fans and engaging your followers. So here I pulled a partial screenshot of Facebook Insights from the Never Cold Call Again page. And these are, what I do here is every time I write a new email newsletter, the ones that you get Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then of course I summarize those in the weekly recap every Friday. I take those articles, I copy and paste them, I post them to my blog, and then I take the link to that blog and I post it on LinkedIn and Facebook. And so what you see here, let me explain what some of this means, is if you look at that second blog down, get my cursor on that, posted on 11/14, the reach was only 92. It only reached 92 people. It only engaged 11 users. That means 11 people either commented or liked it. But the important metric is virality. That's the percentage of people who saw that post who shared it, who either sent it to a friend or reposted it and shared it on their own Facebook profile. So that's a very, very important number. We see one down here, if I can scroll down. So here's one, a blog post I reposted on November 7th, and it got 157, reached 157 people, had a higher engagement rate. 15 people either liked or commented it, but only 1.27% shared it or passed it on. And that's really what this is about. You want people spreading your content. So as you're posting content to your Facebook page, what you need to do is periodically go back and review these numbers and figure out what types of content are getting people to drive up this virality number, because these are the people who are sharing the content, spreading it around, reposting it in their Facebook page, reposting it on Facebook groups, and everything else that is going to get your message out there. So Facebook Insights, with the data gleaned from Facebook Insights, like I said, determine what kind of content engages your fans, and most importantly, what kind of content is being shared, which is determined by that virality statistic that you see in that right column. Take this knowledge and use it to become more focused in future content writing and creation. And just a very basic example, you may find that on your page, videos draw more engagement and more virality than articles. And so that tells you going forward, just do videos. Write an article and then just speak it as a Facebook video and post that video on your page. And going forward, that will get you more new prospects, more exposure, and more business on Facebook. Now, I talked about Facebook groups earlier, but you can take that a step further. Like I said, joining others' Facebook groups is essential to get the word out and spread your content. But something even better is to create your own Facebook group, because that's a way to establish yourself as a leader and an authority figure in your industry. Now, whenever I speak and I do live sales training, I always say I'm only about 5'8", 5'9", so I'm not a real tall guy, but I always talk about the power of social dynamics. And when I'm on stage, on a seminar stage, or if I'm teaching a room of corporate sales reps, even though there may be someone in that room who's 6'5", when I'm on that stage, I'm the biggest person in that room. And it's not because the stage physically elevates me, it's because I'm the leader in that situation. And running your own Facebook group puts you in that exact same situation. It does make you the leader and the authority figure. Now, there's a little bit different about Facebook groups. They're a little bit more exclusive. Unlike a page, which anyone can like and follow, Facebook groups cannot be joined by anyone. They either require admin approval before you can allow someone into your group, or either yourself as admin or another group member can invite other people to join the group. And so that's something I just wanted to mention, is that it's a little bit more exclusive, but then that gives you more control, and it keeps trolls out, and it keeps your competitors out who are trying to self-promote at your expense. Bill just asked a question, will there be a replay available? The answer is yes. This is being recorded, and you will receive a replay, hopefully as early as this afternoon. Worst case, no later than first thing tomorrow morning. So yes, you will get a replay. Continue on. I took a screenshot here of a Facebook group that I happen to be a member of. It's called Your Marketing Breakthrough. Just so you can see what a group looks like. That top column, you can see about. There's an events tab, a photos tab, a file tab. In the far right column, suggested members. These are people who I'm friends with who have similar interests who are not yet members of the group. So that's how the groups grow virally. People are encouraged to invite their friends. You see a request there from someone named Meredith who is requesting to join the group. And this group is set up so that any member can either approve or decline that. And so that's an example of what a Facebook group looks like. And I'm going to get deeper into that later. So what are the uses for Facebook groups? Well, first of all, as I said, build authority and communicate benefits to your prospective customers. So you want to get your prospects into your Facebook group, and you also want to stay in touch with and develop additional business with existing customers. Get your customers into your group so they know what's going on, what's happening, all that fun stuff as far as how you can build and grow your account with that customer and develop additional business, because we all know the best prospect in the world is a happy customer because they will buy more from you. Another thing most people don't think of is create a separate Facebook group of your peers for networking and referral purposes. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Then a final example for the sales managers and sales directors who are on this webinar. You could use a Facebook group for your team. Use it as a low-key, low-pressure way to have virtual sales meetings and mastermind brainstorm discussions. In my internet marketing business, we don't have physical sales meetings. We have online go-to-meetings just like this one, where everyone can contribute and share. And it's a much more productive, much more profitable environment than a typical sales meeting where you've got a sales manager at the head of the table asking everyone what activity they're doing this week. It's much more positive than that. So going back to the 3 magic words, content is king. In Facebook groups, content is still king. Building a group to self-promote for yourself and attract and engage prospects requires attractive content. Now, what you want to do is develop content that encourages conversations. And examples include some of my articles and emails. A recent one was called You Suck at Sales. The email that I send it out every 2 months to new subscribers for the past 2 months. That is my most successful email ever. Every time I send that out, I get just a ridiculous flood of sales on evercoldcall.com. The reason is that it's a controversial title. Controversy and satire engages conversation and it encourages sharing. So be controversial, be provocative. Don't just write boring factual articles that are not going to engage conversation and get people to like and people to share. The reason, of course, best of all, when someone likes or comments on one of the articles in your group or a post in your group, again, it's shown in that person's newsfeed, which attracts more people to you, more people to your page, and of course, more people to your Facebook group. And what this does in turn is attracts more people to your discussion, keeping in mind that your ideal prospects, friends, and peers will almost always include their equals, which is more ideal prospects. Another thing, consistent interaction with your group is key. So jumping into your group once a week or so and seeing what's going on in there and hoping it will stay alive isn't going to cut it. You want to be in there daily, at a minimum every other day. If you don't have time for that, share responsibilities with a colleague and agree to split the leads generated. Obviously, this must be a very, very trustworthy person, hopefully a close friend of yours, so that they're not going to cheat you and steal leads instead of splitting them effectively. So let's talk about why Facebook groups are so extremely effective. Well, first of all, the issue with pages, a Facebook page is strictly to capture a lead. What happens with Facebook pages, once someone likes a page, they almost never revisit the page. They simply see the content from that page in their newsfeed. To make matters worse, if a Facebook fan is not liking or commenting on your page posts, Facebook will eventually stop showing them to those individuals entirely. So if you're a fan of the Never Cold Call Again Facebook page and you see the content I'm posting and you never comment on any of it and you never like any of those posts, after about a month or so, you're not going to see them anymore. Facebook will just stop showing them to you. So that's the difference between a group and a page. A page will cut someone off if they're not engaging, where a group doesn't do that. Point number 3, keeping fans seeing your content requires an ongoing effort to be controversial and stimulate discussion and sharing. And finally, like I said a million times, our singular goal with a page is lead capture for follow-up outside of Facebook. Whether you put that person into an email follow-up system, whether you pick up the phone and talk to them live, whether you send them a personal email, the entire point of getting someone to a page is to fill out a lead form, and then you can contact them outside of Facebook and begin the sales process there. Another benefit of groups, they continue sharing and engagement on Facebook with far less effort. The reason for that, number 6, anytime someone posts or comments in a group, every other member of the group is notified. So if John Doe posts on a comment I made in a Facebook group, all 500 or so members of that group, however many people are in it, are going to get a message in their Facebook news feed that Joe Blow commented on my comment about why cold calling is stupid or whatever it might be. Obviously, this requires far less effort to keep people engaged with your group. And again, as long as you are regularly posting and contributing to your group, you've got to stay active. You also want to encourage members to stay active and post and initiate new discussions, because then that sort of puts the group on autopilot with less effort from yourself. Then finally, even with others' groups to which you belong, members will be notified every time you post your content. So that's why I strongly encourage you to begin discussions, repost your articles, your videos, and all the groups you belong to, because every time you do that, every member of that group will see your content in their Facebook newsfeed every time you post it to any group to which you belong. Now, you can have multiple content centers on Facebook. This is where it gets even more fun. Having multiple pages and or multiple groups is not only common, but I strongly encourage it. So here's an example of something you might set up. You might set up one Facebook business page with a lead capture mechanism. You might set up one Facebook group for prospects and customers. And then, of course, where you promote to those prospects and customers, and of course, try to get your customers to promote for you and talk about how happy they are with your service. And then finally, it's a good idea to set up another Facebook group for networking and for referral sharing with your peers. Networking is big. The second best lead in the world after a happy customer is a referral. We all know that. And so it's very wise on your part to start a Facebook group for networking purposes where you are the leader of the group. Let's go through these groups individually. Setting up your prospect and customer group. Step 1. Add all of your happy customers who are on Facebook, and I'm sure that's all of them, to your group, because like I said, happy customers will promote for you and share how satisfied they are with you with all the prospects who are in the group. Never add unhappy customers. We've all got them. We all know there are jerks in the world who, no matter how much we do for them, how much we bend over backwards to try to make them happy, they'll never be happy because they're just trying to get free stuff out of us, or they're just miserable, unhappy people. Don't add them to your group, because all they're going to do is trash talk you to your prospects. So happy customers only. That's rule 1. Step 2, take all of your prospects. Prospects, whether you're in a sales cycle with them now, whether it's someone you contacted a year ago who wasn't ready to buy yet, get all of those people. Whether you've got shoe boxes of business cards, or whether you're using a CRM like Salesforce.com or aceofsales.com, that's the one I use in my business. Add all of those prospects to your group. And again, I'm sure 99.9% of them are already on Facebook, so they're going to be easy to find and invite. And step three, add all of your friends and colleagues who might be interested or potentially good contributors. So if you've got someone in a complementary industry, for example, when I sold business telephone systems, I had a very strong relationship with the AT&T services office in my city, and so we teamed up because we were complementary to each other. We didn't compete, and so someone who's in a complementary industry, who you know and trust well, who could be a good contributor to your group, that would be a great person to invite because they'll not only keep the group active and engaged, but they can also get some leads out of it as well. Again, some screenshots here, how to add people to your group. When you're in your group, on the top right, you click that little settings icon, click add people to group, and then you can just start typing in names and do it that way. It'll just show those people's names who are on Facebook, and then one by one, you can click on them and add them to your group. So it's really super simple to do. So that's how to set up the group and start inviting people. Now, begin discussions. Once the group is set up, begin discussions encouraging current customers to talk about what makes them happy about your product or service. You do this by contacting them offline. Give your best customers a phone call, shoot them an email, shoot them a text message, and ask them to post testimonials about you and your product or service. And if you've done a good job for them, trust me, they will be very, very happy to do that. In my internet marketing business, we're closing a deal right now on a $70,000 a month prospect. And of course, he wants references. And one of our very happy customers happens to be Travelocity. And Travelocity is thrilled to give us a testimonial and say how happy they are with our service. And they're similar sized accounts. And so what you want to do is have the same process going on with your Facebook group. Get all of your best customers to post testimonials about you and your product or service. Another thing you could post I thought was really neat today is that on Monday, like I said, I was the speaker at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. And while it's not required, they always recommend that you buy lunch for the group simply because it draws a bigger crowd and you end up walking away with more leads and more sales after you speak. And so I found a local shelter because a food bank can't take the leftover food, and brought them a big, huge, giant tray of probably 30 or 40 sandwiches that were leftovers from Jason's Deli. And I got a beautiful thank you letter in the mail today from those people about how appreciative they are. And so if you're doing nice gestures like that, post those on the group for people to see, because it shows that you're doing good, and it also encourages people to help out the groups that you support as well. So that's just one thing you could do. That's just a nice gesture, and it certainly doesn't hurt to put that in your Facebook group. Frequently remind group members that you were there for them. The group is not for your self-promotion. And keep in mind that the group, it's to add value, it's to give value, it's to do what you can to help your prospective customers. Because if you just throw sales pitches at them, they're going to leave the group. You want to give them valuable content, and you want to help them. Now, I've got a big, bold red warning here. This goes for all your groups. Never, ever post confidential or privileged information on Facebook groups. The reason is that Facebook privacy policies are all over the board. They can change without warning. So even though your group is private today, tomorrow they can change the rules, then it's public, and now suddenly you've got confidential or privileged information on a Facebook group. It leaks out. You can get fired for that. You can have legal problems because of that. So never, ever, or even worse, your competitors can find out things you don't want them to know. So never post confidential or privileged information on Facebook groups. Keep that stuff offline and private between you and the people who you talk about it with. So another cool thing about your prospect and customer group, you can use that to promote events. Everything from informational webinars on GoToMeeting, like we're doing now. One of the things I do to promote my internet marketing business, and my sales reps do the same, is we've got an extremely powerful 20-minute webinar, free webinar we do for prospects and business owners on why our services are so effective. It's full of case studies and statistics proving that we can do what we say we can do. So you can use your Facebook group to promote those type of things. You can even promote live seminars or live speaking engagements. So the next question is, you are doing free speaking, right? You are speaking at chambers of commerce. You are speaking at Rotary clubs. That's one of the best things you can do. Speak at chambers, speak at Rotary clubs, speak at business school alumni groups because they're going to be full of really hot prospects. And by being the speaker, you're the leader and the authority figure, and you get to toot your own horn and give a sales pitch for the 20 minutes or so that they allow you. And when you book those speaking engagements for free, post them as events on your Facebook group. And then finally, another question. You are engaging your prospects and customers in free webinars to keep them up to date on products and services, right? Spend the $20 a month or $40 a month or whatever it is for a basic GoToMeeting or WebEx account and put together PowerPoint presentations like this. I'm going to give everyone some contact info on how to take a plain text PowerPoint and then have it developed for a low fee into a beautiful presentation like you're seeing right now. So you want to do free webinars for your prospects as well as your customers to keep them up to date, to sell them more products and services, and you can announce those through the events feature on Facebook groups. And this is what it looks like. If you click on that events tab on the top navigation menu on your Facebook group, you click on events. There's a drop down for or right there, you see that blue link. When you click that link, create an event, this dialog box pops up. And then name, details. If it's an actual in-person meeting, you can add a place. Privacy, it could be to group members only. You could post it to everyone who's either a friend or a connection on Facebook. So it's really easy to promote events via Facebook groups that way. So some of the advantages of using the events feature of Facebook events. Like I said, your events can be public or they can be invite only. You can post events in your groups. Even better, you can post events in others' groups. If you're going to do a free webinar, informational webinar for 15 or 20 minutes that would get prospects buying from you, post it in the groups where your prospects are hanging out. So an example of that would be me inviting members of a group I belong to attend a free webinar that promotes nevercoldcall.com. Online events, aka webinars, are very easy. They get a much higher turnout than in-person events or in-person networking events, quite simply because people don't have to leave the comfort of their home or office to attend. Even in the business I'm in, the concept of sales authors like me doing live seminars is going away, and it's going into paid webinars like the one you're on now, very simply because it's far less expensive to buy a $20 invite to attend this webinar versus several $100s to go to a live seminar. You don't have to pay for airfare. You don't have to pay for a hotel and incidentals and all that. And like I said, it's convenient. You don't have to go anywhere. Another thing you want to do is regularly post videos to your group. And there's the slide. Videos can be product demonstrations, explanations of your industry jargon, and so on. The best video of all, again, go back to your happiest customers, whether you've got a camcorder or whether you're just using the video feature on your iPhone. Get video testimonials from all of your happiest customers and upload those to your Facebook group. You can also upload photos. Product photos are great. People are more inclined to buy something when they can see it. It makes them want it more. And photos from any type of live event you've done are best, whether it's just a meetup group that you've been to or an actual free live seminar that you've hosted. And again, how to do this, go to the Photos tab on the nav bar on your Facebook group or any Facebook group for that matter. Then you can click either upload photos or upload video, and it's that simple to do that. Another good feature of Facebook groups that I like is the group files feature. Now, as a salesperson or a small business owner or a professional like an attorney, whatever your function might be, you should have a robust collection of brochures, flyers, white papers, testimonial letters from happy customers, and so on. What you want to do is upload those to the file section of your own groups, as well as every other groups that you belong to whose permissions allow file upload. And yet another screenshot. Here's how you do that. You click that Files tab on the top of your group. You can click Upload File, which brings up this dialog box where you can upload the file and then type in a comment or a description of what it is. Or you can click on that button that says Create Doc, and it brings up a very Microsoft Word type of box where you can just type something in. If you're inspired to just write a new article and upload it to the file section of a Facebook group, you can do that right then and there using that very simple dialog box. So what are your goals in promoting your group? Keep in mind, remember, the goal of having a group that includes customers and prospects is twofold. First of all, you want to build authority and build trust by keeping your members informed on what you can do for them, products, services, value you can add, all that good stuff. The second half of that is you want to allow your existing customers, your happy customers, to build credibility for you through testimonials and tokens of appreciation. And of course, the ultimate goal, again, it all goes back to that page. The ultimate goal of building a following through these Facebook groups is to get people back to your Facebook business page for lead capture. Get them to fill out that all important lead form. Now, here's another idea you can do with Facebook groups, and I sort of call this focus groups. Create separate private Facebook groups for use as focus groups. You can have multiple purposes for this. You can invite specific prospects or specific existing customers to provide quote unquote private advance notice of upcoming new products. You can give free demos and access to product trials or test drives. And you can use that to get valuable feedback on how to improve the product, or if you're a salesperson who doesn't have any control over the product itself, you can get some very valuable feedback on how you can sell the product, some insights on what the possible objections might be when you're out selling this product to prospective customers as well as existing customers in the future once you get out and start doing that. Now, something else I talked about was building a networking group. The beauty of a networking group is you can create a separate group for business networking where, unlike most other groups, you will be the leader here. This can be the single most effective type of networking group since, like I said a million times, practically everyone with a computer is already on Facebook. So there's no need for them to join anything new. They don't need to join a chamber. They don't need to join meetup.com. There is no need for them to attend meetings. Any activity in the group shows up in the members' news feeds automatically. And what this results in is a very, very active, vibrant group. So how do you do this? How do you build a Facebook networking group? Well, step one, invite every salesperson, small business owner, and independent professional you know to join the group. If you're in sales, you know a gazillion salespeople. If you're in B2B sales, you know a gazillion small business owners, either through prospects or customers. And you probably know lots of independent professionals. When I was in the phone business, I sold a lot of phone systems to doctors and lawyers. So get those people to join the group. Accountants, engineers, every type of independent professional. My next door neighbor is an architect, and part of what he needs to do is self-promote. And so he can do things like that through these type of networking groups. Step two is to invite all of your customers and prospects to join the group. They'll appreciate the new connections because they're all trying to grow their businesses as well. Next thing you want to do is go offline and attend every business networking meetup in your area and show up with a stack of flyers promoting your group. Now, in the bad old days, it was the leads clubs. I'm not going to mention any by name, but you used to have to pay this exorbitant fee to go to a quote-unquote leads club every week or every month. That's over now. Meetup.com is where it's at. The meetup groups are free. Most of them require you to drop a $1 in a bucket when you show up just to pay for their Meetup.com membership. But Meetup is where it's at. And the cool thing about Meetup groups is that every Meetup group, when you leave, you walk out with a list of everyone who was there. Including full contact information, phone number, email address, website. So you can use that to get back in touch with these people or just use their email address to invite them to your networking group. But again, if you're not networking via local groups in your area on meetup.com, that's where it's at nowadays. I think there are 1,756 groups here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So even in a small town, there are probably at least a couple of dozen meetup networking groups. And in any larger city, there can be from hundreds to thousands of groups that you can use to build your networking group. And step four, send an announcement, send a letter or a press release to your local business journal editor. And 9 times out of 10, they'll publish the announcement in the business journal because that's exactly the kind of content they're looking for. That's the reason people subscribe to the business journal, is to look for networking opportunities. So how do you use your networking group? Your networking group is not just self-serving. Always keep that in mind. You're not there just to get this huge collection of people who you're going to try to sell to. In fact, you're not going to sell at all in your networking group. What you're doing is helping others to grow and prosper as well. Actively encourage members to upload their marketing materials, their flyers, brochures, white papers to the files area. Use the events feature. Now, this is a good one. Use the events feature to schedule either online or offline mastermind meetings and networking events. So whether you set up a GoToMeeting where everyone can participate and have a roundtable sort of mastermind discussion, talk about ways to prospect, maybe exchange leads. That's a great place to set up that type of GoToMeeting and announce it. Or you can even do your offline networking events. One of the beautiful things about meetup.com, one of the reasons there are so many networking groups is anyone can join meetup.com for free and start a networking group. So you can take your Facebook group, your networking group, and create a sister meetup networking group and then promote the actual in-person offline events and promote them through your Facebook group. Having said all that, even though you're there to help other people as much as yourself, as the group leader, you are going to get the lion's share of the benefits, which means the lion's share of the leads and the lion's share of the sales. The reason, with your status as the leader, group members who are qualified prospects for you will be inclined to buy from you. Taking that a step further, always be a connector. Look for people within your group who can mutually benefit and make an introduction. I've heard more than one success guru say one of the best ways to advance yourself in the world is to make at least one valuable introduction. If you can't come up with enough to do it every day, do it once a week. And in fact, Napoleon Hill even said in one of his books, it might have been Think and Grow Rich, if you want to get rich, find ways to bring producers and consumers together. And producers and consumers quite simply means buyers and sellers. Your networking group is that way. I'll keep the next slide brief. This one, sales management group, because I know there are far fewer managers than salespeople on the call. If you're a sales manager, you can bet all of your sales team are on Facebook, and in fact, it probably drives you up a wall every time you pass by their desk and you see them on Facebook instead of working. Let's not go there. But what you can do is set up a Facebook group just for you and your sales team. Keep it private, only invite your sales team. Use it as a virtual sales meeting and mastermind ground to help each other improve. This is much more attractive to salespeople than formal sales meetings. And if your organization will permit it, if you got the flexibility to do so, you may be able to eliminate formal sales meetings altogether and just congregate within the group. And the beauty of that is group activity is ongoing. Every time your sales team, any individual logs into Facebook, they'll see the group activity in their news feed, and that encourages them to participate and add to it rather than having just a once a week meeting where it goes on for an hour and then it's over and then no other contributions take place until next week. So I think doing it online via Facebook group is a much more productive way to make that happen. Now, as you implement these strategies over time, your Facebook connections, your prospects, your contacts is going to get a bit unwieldy. So Facebook has a cool new feature called Facebook Lists. You can use Facebook Lists to help you segment people into different categories. So, for example, you can separate your personal contacts from your business contacts, so your cousins and your sister and your mom are not getting bombarded with your business and sales content that they're not interested in, and vice versa. Your business contacts, your prospects and customers won't see pictures of your baby and your dog, which are two things I post all the time because that doesn't quite interest them. You could subdivide prospects from customers and things like that. So it's pretty powerful. And the newest feature is something called Smart Lists. Facebook can automatically set up lists based on your likes, your pages, your groups, and your interests. It saves you the time and trouble of going through hundreds, if not thousands, of contacts doing this yourself. Most importantly, it helps you to make sure the right content goes out to the right people. So a hypothetical example, if you're doing an aggressive promotion this month, you probably don't want your customers who paid full price last month to know about it because they're going to get very upset. They're going to come demanding a partial refund so they can get the good price. And so segmenting your lists helps you avoid little faux pas like that, like sending a promotion or a discount to a customer who might have purchased yesterday and they're going to get angry that they weren't offered the discount. And then lists can also update automatically based on your friends' profiles. So here's some example. People who work with me at one of my companies, people I went to high school with, friends who are located here in Dallas, relatives who I'm friends with on Facebook. So that's one thing that Smart List can do. Then once you have people segmented into lists, this is what I was talking about. So if you're going to post a product promotion, free installation on our product this month, December only, you do that drop down and send to prospects only, so your customers won't see it, and that way you don't piss off your customers who paid full price last month. Then they find out this month you're just giving away the store to get a because your company wants a strong finish on the balance sheet at the end of the year. So, and again, close friends, if you're posting personal content you don't want business colleagues to see, that's a good way to do that. There's that little drop down once you segment your lists. Now let's talk about promoting Facebook offsite. You want to socialize your blog and socialize your website. You need to add a Facebook like button to your website. This is very, very simple to do. I'll send out info on how to do this. Like I said, I'm trying to try to get the tutorials out to you guys by the end of this week. If not, then by Monday. The cool thing about a Facebook like button, you could set it up to either like your website. So when someone likes it, it'll show up in their Facebook timeline that they liked nevercoldcall.com, for example. Or you can configure it to like your Facebook business page. So it's whatever you prefer. I think it's better to promote your Facebook business page and get people there to keep the activity within Facebook, because that seems to work better from the testing I've done. Another cool thing, you can add a Facebook send button to your website. So this allows users to send a web page to their Facebook friends and Facebook groups. So if I have a blog post, or you write a blog post, someone reads your blog post, they like it, they can click, and right there on this slide, you see an example of a Facebook send button, and then it will go ahead and repost your blog post out to their Facebook friends and their Facebook groups. And like I said, resources and tutorials will be included, not with the replay, but within the next few days at the latest, you're going to get the tutorials on how to do this. Or again, you can go to Fiverr.com and pay somebody $5 to set it up for you, which is quite honestly the option I like, because it doesn't take any time and it costs very, very little money compared to other outsourced sites like elance.com or Odesk or any of those. So in conclusion, with 800 million users and growing, you must use Facebook for sales prospecting, because guess what? Practically all of your prospects are there. A high quality Facebook business page is the hub and the goal. All this content, all this stuff about Facebook group and Facebook pages and participation and networking and content and engagement and virality, the ultimate goal is just to get people to your Facebook page and then engage them with your lead capture system and get them to fill out that lead capture form. Facebook groups give you many, many multiple uses to engage customers, attract and close prospects, network with peers, manage your sales team if you're a manager. Really a whole lot of options that you can do with Facebook groups. It's a very, very powerful feature of Facebook that almost nobody is using. And on that same note, almost no one in sales or small business is even aware of the vast capabilities of Facebook for lead generation, let alone are they actually using them. They don't even know about them. You do. You learned a lot today. Now your job is to get into action. You will get a replay video and PDF copy of this presentation. Hopefully today I can get it out to you. If not, tomorrow morning at the latest. I'd like you to review it often, review the PDF often, because it's got all the main points on it. And use the tools and tutorials you're going to get in the next few days, or spring for a few Fiverr gigs for $5 each. For $10 or $15, you can probably get everything done you need to get done to build the ultimate Facebook page and the ultimate Facebook marketing and lead capture system. So as always, thank you for participating today. I hugely appreciate everyone's participation in the webinar. I know it's a busy time of year with the holidays. A lot of people's minds are outside of business and more worried about shopping and travel plans and holidays and all that. So it's time for Q&A. I see there are already a ton of questions in the chat box. For those of you who have questions, please use the question box that you see there in your GoToMeeting control panel. And I am going to start going through them. Brenda says she's happy to be here from DC. Brenda, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Karen asks, do you see Facebook or like entities taking the place of standalone web pages? My answer, though, there is no. The reason for that is the goal of any kind of social media, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook, Pinterest is growing now, but quite honestly, I don't see a lot of Pinterest. To me is a glorified social bookmarking tool like Dig or StumbleUpon. The only difference is you can post pictures to it. But no, the standalone web page is going to be the ultimate place where the selling happens. Now, LinkedIn, of course, is great for networking. So on LinkedIn, you're building connections, and then you connect with those people, and then you talk offline. With Facebook, you want to do a lead capture, whether you engage offline or whether you forward them to a web page. But no, I think standalone web pages will always be king. One of the biggest reasons for that is because we can rank them very highly in Google. We can promote them with Google AdWords. This is something my company does. And so standalone web pages are not going away, but social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, absolutely, positively must be used by all salespeople to engage and prospect for new customers. I'm going through questions. Several people asked if you're going to get a replay and a copy of the PowerPoint. The answer is yes. Timothy asks, how many business pages are allowed by Facebook? As far as I know, they're unlimited. You can create as many as you want. That's one of the nice things about it. I know one of the limitations with Facebook is you can only join 50, or no, I'm sorry, not Facebook. With LinkedIn, there's a limit of 50 LinkedIn groups that you can join. And so that's a limitation. Facebook doesn't have any of that. So as far as I know, you can join as many Facebook groups as you want. You can create as many Facebook pages as you want. You can cross promote those pages, so you can promote page A on page B and vice versa. So it can get pretty complicated and complex in what you can do, and it's pretty exciting stuff. Brenda asks, if someone trash talks you on your group, can you uninvite them or kick them off? Absolutely. I've had trolls. I don't know if the people are just jerks or if they're competitors under fake names, because that, unfortunately, in the business I'm in, that does happen. Other sales authors who don't like my message will log in under a fake name and say that I ripped them off or whatever the case might be. Yes, you can delete their posts, and then you can ban them from the group entirely so they can't post anymore. Timothy asks, I use Ace of Sales also. Do you suggest adding them to the Facebook group? Not quite sure I understand that question. I guess if your question is if there's a Ace of Sales Facebook group, should you join it? And I guess the question would be yes, because that would be a good place to talk with other people. Let's see. Timothy asks, yes, please post the PowerPoint slides. You will get that. Tony asks, how can I use this for MLM? The approach really isn't any different. I'm good friends with the owner of an MLM company, and I've dabbled in MLM, never really seriously, but just so I could understand what you guys go through, because so many people in network marketing buy my products. And I think the best way to use it is just use the entire strategy I showed you, but your goal, instead of selling process or making sales in either a B2C or B2B environment, would be to promote the advantages of your network marketing organization and use that to recruit new members. And I know I'm good friends with someone who is very, I don't want to say very high up, but she's doing extremely well in Visalis. I think that's how you pronounce it, the big fitness MLM that's taking off right now. And she is doing very well using Facebook to build followers. She does posts all the time. In her post, she even says, here's my cell number, call me, let's get this thing going. So yeah, if you are in MLM or network marketing, use all of these strategies, but change your goal from making a sale to recruiting new people into your downline. And I could tell you from the experiences of my friend herself that this is very, very effective. Let's see. Eric asks, what was the procedure to get the social modules for existing customers of your material? What I'm assuming you're asking is you didn't get the update for the newest version of the nevercoldcall.com system. If that's the case, either send me a direct message on LinkedIn or open a ticket with my help desk. I'm going to give you both links here. Frank Romboskis. I think it's /in/Frank Romboskis. It's one or the other. If the link doesn't work, just Google Frank Romboskis LinkedIn or go to /help desk, and we can help you out either way and get you the update. Daniel from Switzerland. Awesome. Thank you for logging in. I know it's a huge time difference for you guys. I appreciate you coming on. Hank asks, I sell rags, wipers, spill control, waste removal services. How would you go about building content for these products and services? Not having experience in that industry, it's a tough question for me, but I think there are ways to, if you're on my last webinar about sales closing and profit justification, not sales clothing, though that should be a different webinar because I see far too many underdressed salespeople in the world. I think talk about benefits of what you can do to help people save money, recover costs. Also, if there is any green aspect, the whole green thing is very big these days. So if you can talk about environmental advantages, that would be great. Actually, talk about obscure industries. I did a live sales training in person for a sales team at a company that sells water efficient urinals. And so, of course, their sales pitch is that even though their urinals are more expensive, they use far less water, and the customer's water bill is much less. And over time, they recoup that cost and actually put more money in their pocket in the end. So, if you can look for ways and means of profit justifying your solution in that way, showing how you can either save them money or recover money in their business by solving some kind of problem. Or, of course, a lot of people are concerned about the green aspect. That's another good way to go about that. Karen says, thanks for your opinion, and you're very welcome. Humberto, how can I drive and track traffic to 2 websites? I would just use the overall content strategy, use the social media and blogging content strategy from the Never Cold Call Again course, use the LinkedIn strategy from that webinar, use the Facebook strategy from here. And I think what you'll find is a tremendous amount of leads and prospects into your pipeline. If you're talking about in a more literal sense of driving traffic without using these means, the best way to do that in the world is SEO, search engine optimization. That's something my company at the ROIteam.com can help you with, or you're more than welcome to go online and find other services or advice on how to do that. The second best way to do that is Google AdWords. Having said that, Google AdWords, as it becomes more competitive and more people join it, the prices are starting to get a bit ridiculous and a bit cost prohibitive for small businesses to be able to be profitable with it. I do not specifically recommend Facebook ads. Facebook ads have their place. A good example of where Facebook ads would be effective, just as a brief background, the way Facebook advertising works is you can direct ads to people based on their likes. So unlike Google AdWords, where you do it by keywords, or LinkedIn paid advertising, where you do it by job title or what company they work at, Facebook, it's done by likes. So a good example of that is if you opened a local coffee house with premium coffee, you can run paid Facebook ads directed at everyone within a 10-mile radius who likes Starbucks, for example, and then use those ads to steal business from Starbucks. But for most B2B businesses that are outside of retail or outside of restaurant or consumer, I don't find them to be too very effective. So that was very long-winded, but hopefully I helped answer your question. Michael asks, paying $5 to have my Facebook page jazzed up. Let me type in again. Fiverr.com. Go to Fiverr.com and just search for Facebook timeline design, Facebook header design. That will be included. That info is in the PowerPoint. So when you get the replay and when you get the copy of the PowerPoint via email, hopefully by later today, you'll see that information in there. But Fiverr.com is what I recommend, because for $5 per job, you really can't beat it. And of course, look for providers with 100% feedback, and you can't go wrong with that. Amy asks, I am clueless about LinkedIn. Will you be having or already have a LinkedIn webinar? Had one 2 months ago. It was a tremendous success. So I am going to give you the link to buy that. And it's $20 just like this one. And for $20, you get the full download, the full 90-minute video presentation along with the PDF copy of that. And then I'll also include that link when I send out the replay for anyone else who's interested. Diana asks, if you already have a Facebook business page, will Fiverr take that an improvement, or will they create a new page? You could do one or the other, but I recommend using them to improve your current page, get a very professional header graphic made. While we're on that note, let me back out of the presentation here and then pull up some of those Facebook pages I had looked at before. So what they can do is for $5, you can have Facebook headers made up that look very similar to what you see here, if this ever loads. So you can have that done for $5. got Ellen DeGeneres Facebook page. You can have something of that quality built for $5. They can also build, let's wait for the page to load yet again. These little icons that you see me circling with my cursor here, you can get that done for $5. There are some providers that will do both for $5. They'll do a full Facebook design package. So yeah, what you can do is when you're logged into your page, you can change that header image. You can add and change icons. You can direct where those icons direct people to when they click on them, and so forth. So really, either or, they can improve a current page or build a new one for you. But I recommend just taking your page and improving it as much as possible. How long does Facebook give us before they remove your page if no one has made comments? I don't think they do. I've never come across that. I think what you might be asking is how long does Facebook give you before they stop showing your page's content to a fan? I don't know the exact number because that changes, but I believe it's about 3 to 4 weeks. If a Facebook fan never comments or never likes any of the content from your page, then they'll stop seeing that content. And so that's why it's so extremely important to always use content that's engaging and, like I said, provocative and controversial. My most successful post of all time is the email and the blog post that entitled "You Suck at Sales." That always gets huge engagement, huge sharing. People love it. And so that's why it's very important to be, and you don't want to be offensive or obnoxious, but just be provocative and be controversial, and most of all, be very thought provoking. If you want a good example of that, my good friend and fellow author Mark Joyner, I typed his name in there. Find Mark Joyner's personal page on Facebook and subscribe to him, and you'll see that he's very good at typing very, very thought provoking posts that will literally get sometimes hundreds of comments on them. And that's a good example of a strategy to follow. Humberto is saying we're a financial advisory that serves two distinct group of people. If that's the case, then just set up two separate strategies, two separate Facebook business pages, two separate LinkedIn strategies, even you don't need two separate websites, but you could have two separate subfolders or two separate landing pages on a website, and then use that, use SEO or Google AdWords or other methods to promote that to your target audiences. Alan asked, do you have an affiliate program for nevercoldcall.com? We do. We are transitioning to new affiliate software because the software we were using was not 100% accurate. Some affiliates were being overpaid for sales they never made. We found other affiliates were getting underpaid for sales that they did make. So we're scrapping that, and it's been some time to get this new one developed, but it's just about ready to go live. So once that's done, what I'm going to do is, if you can send a ticket to my help desk, www.nevercoldcall.com/help desk, they'll put you on a list. So as soon as it's ready to go, we can notify you and get you signed up for that. Rosemary says, thank you. Very informative. Great class. I learned so much. I will certainly get to work using what I've learned here today. That makes me happy because the 80-20 rule, Napoleon Hill said it's actually 98% of people do nothing, 2% take action. Later in life, he did a series of lectures I have on CD when he was 81 years old, and he said it's closer to 100 out of 100 people never take any action, which is very frustrating for me because I like when people actually implement the things I teach. So, Rosemary, get to work. I appreciate the fact that you're doing that. One of the flyers you mentioned for business meetings, do you put an invitation to your Facebook group on it? Not sure which flyer you're referring to, but the short answer was yes. Even if I might have dropped the ball on one and didn't do it, I would always put an invitation on a Facebook group. So an example of that, one of my sales reps in my internet marketing business, I mentioned we have a very powerful 20-minute presentation that's very compelling to show business owners why they need to do search engine marketing with us specifically. So what she does is goes out and goes after business owners, LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, other places where they can be found, and then invites them to a weekly go-to-meeting that she does where she presents this webinar and then gets with everyone after and engages them to begin the sales process and close sales. Is your LinkedIn for Business presentation available for download? Yes, it is. And if you look into your chat box or your go-to-meeting dialog box, you could see right above Mark Joyner's name, I posted the link to that. I'll also send it out in the email with the recording because so many people have been asking for it. See, Barry says, I sell a pet exercise equipment, electric pet treadmills. That makes me jealous because I tried to put my dog in a treadmill, a human treadmill. It just didn't happen. I need to capture consumers' contact info. What is the best way to capture the consumer's contact information? What I would do is write up a report. As a dog owner myself, I know how much I absolutely positively love my dog, almost as much as I love my kid. Well, maybe not that much, but they're up there. Let me put it that way, as you know. And I would write a report uh, about maybe use the FUD factor, fear, uncertainty, and talk about how your dog's and cat's health are negatively being affected due to things you're not doing, or how you can improve your pet's lifespan, how to add 2 years to your pet's life. Download the free report and offer that as a free report or a free white paper, and show statistical and anecdotal evidence that putting your dog or a cat on a treadmill will actually make them healthier and increase their lifespan. So that does two things. First, it captures the lead because every pet owner wants to know how to make their pet live longer, because having had a dog before this one, I know how painful and how terrible it is when they pass away. So we all want to extend our pets' lives. And then, of course, the white paper or the report, it also sells them on your product. So you get the lead, you send them a piece of marketing collateral, a report, or a white paper that actually closes them. And then on top of that, you've got their information so you can follow up personally. So I think that's the way I would go about it. Timothy asks, I enjoyed your sales closing. I almost said clothing again. And LinkedIn webinars, will those replay links expire? And if so, can we save them? The links will not expire. Those replays will be up there pretty much forever. I'm not going to take those down. I do recommend you download it to your computer because you're going to be able to watch it. The video will play a lot faster and you won't have internet connection problems. But the short answer is those replay links will stay up permanently. As a sales rep for my company, would I be creating my own Facebook business page, or would I use my company's page? I recommend that you create your own page. Using your company's page doesn't do much for you. It just sends leads to the company. So create your own separate page that does not necessarily identify with your company's branding, but create a page that talks about what you do and the benefits that you do. So just a very rough example, if you work... well, I've just had a conversation Monday about this with a life insurance agent. And so rather than go through New York Life's page, what we talked about him doing is have his own page that talks about life insurance and the features of it. He's doing a strong push now because if everyone hasn't heard, due to new government regulations, life insurance rates are going up on January 1st, and they're going up pretty dramatically. So if you've been thinking about life insurance, the time to buy is right now, this month, before that happens. But I strongly recommend your own Facebook page and your own Facebook groups. Daniel asks, can you please post a presentation? Yes, you'll get the replay after the fact. Ben asks, what is the best format for a video testimonial? I used to sell double glazing. Took a full Polaroid of a prospective customer's home before, promised to take an after photo. The photos would be used in a company magazine for customers to see. What is the modern post-Polaroid equivalent for a Facebook video testimonial? It doesn't have to be anything complex. You could maybe include the before and after photos in the video testimonial, and then just get a 30-second blurb from the customer talking about how happy they are with the product. And I think that would be the way to do that. Ronald asked, what's the website for building PowerPoints for $20? Actually, what it is my PowerPoint designer who designs my PowerPoints. I had a conversation with her last week, and she said she has about 15 hours a week to spare. So what we're going to do is set up a page where you guys can actually, and we're going to sell it at cost for the same price I pay her to do my PowerPoints, where you can purchase her services. It won't be $20. It'll probably be about $100 and up, depending on the length of the PowerPoint. But where you can purchase that service, upload your PowerPoint, and then within a week, you'll get one back. The way I do it, very simply, I send her a very ugly plain text PowerPoint, and a week later, I get back the kind of presentation you see today. So we're going to set up a web page, and I'll mail that out so everyone knows about it. Can you include the Q&A from this chat when you send info? I don't know any way to do that via text, but that will be part of the recording. So you'll be able to hear that. Manuel asked, PowerPoint low-fee developer. So that's pretty much the same as last question. Les asks, is all this info included in your course when purchased? The webinars are not. These are above and beyond the Never Cold Call Again system. So these are separate. That course for $97 is a very comprehensive lead generation course and includes 2 modules on social media, but these webinars go above and beyond that. Hank asks, we can start building a Facebook business page on a personal Facebook account already started. That's correct. Just Google Facebook pages, go to that page while you're logged into Facebook, and then just click on create a page, and you're off to the races. Big thank you from Daniel that he enjoyed the webinar and will definitely implement. Thank you. I love hearing that. And with that, we are at our time limit. So I'm going to wrap it up, say a big thank you to everyone today because I see the clock ticking down and I'm going to get cut off any second here. So again, big thanks to everyone. Look for the replay video and the PDF, if not today, then tomorrow morning at the latest. And I look forward to hopefully seeing all you guys on the next webinar. Thanks again for attending.